Hey, welcome to Beards and Bibles. My name is Johnny.
I'm Andy.
And here we're going to talk about Christmas and
the 2020 wrap-up.
Yeah, let's go. We're having a hard time making this video. Andy, why do you...
I hate it. I hate it.
You hate Christmas.
I hate Christmas.
Okay. So if you hate Christmas, tell us again for the 14th time that you guys haven't heard, but I have. Why do you hate Christmas?
I hate Christmas because the holiday companies like Hallmark and you candy makers out there and Amazon, I love you. I love shopping from you. I love buying things from you because you get stuff to me in 2 days.
Yeah.
But companies like you and the Walmart, you've ruined it for me.
Ruined it.
Ruined it. Straight ruined.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
That's right.
So, with Christmas, we hate the idea that you always have to struggle to get people presents.
Exactly.
You have to put so much effort into spending the money that you don't have to satisfy other people. Even though you may love them people, it's a drag.
You spend 55 days from November the 1st until December the 25th in straight anxiety.
Yes.
And that is honestly, like, I shouldn't say that I hate Christmas, but I hate what Christmas has become.
Yes.
For me, like, I like what Christmas is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I don't like what it is.
I hate Christmas music. Christmas music is annoying.
If you're one of these people that you start playing Christmas music at 12 a.m. on November the 1st, let me just tell you something. You're wrong, and there's a special spot in hell set aside for you next to child molesters and people who talk at the movie theater.
But what if some of these people actually do that? You're not going to hell.
You're not going to
We're
hell
different.
for playing
He's
Christmas
just a
music.
jerk.
But seriously, quit it.
All right, so tell us the second point.
Okay, so one of the things, like you said, that we dislike about Christmas is the anxiety around gift giving. And I mean, I don't know about you, Johnny, but for me, it is one of these things where, especially not so much with my kids, it's pretty easy to figure out what my kids want. Because they talk about it all the time, nonstop. They don't shut up about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, I want to get tickets to a K-pop concert. I'm like, what's a K-pop? And they're like, oh, it's a boy band. I'm like, oh, like NSYNC? They're like, no, they're from Korea. I'm like, oh, you mean like that, what was it, Psy? Mm-hmm. No, they're not even, it's not even a cool boy band. It's like girl boys.
Yeah, with pink hair.
Pink hair, and I just don't like K-pop. And I don't like K-pop. I don't like Christmas. I don't like talking to people.
I don't like the holidays. Might as well call me the Grinch or Scrooge. I hate the Grinch and I hate Scrooge. I'm not fans.
Actually, the Muppets Christmas Carol with Michael Caine as Scrooge, that was a great Christmas Carol. He played a great Scrooge.
They want you to say grace. Grace died 30 years ago.
The blessing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I want to tell you this story about Maddox saying the Pledge of Allegiance. It was the best. I'll tell the story right now because it was the best thing in the world. So like 2-3 years ago, Maddox is still in elementary school. And then like 30 minutes go by after we've dropped him off and my phone rings. And I pick up and I hear Maddox and he goes, "Hey, Dad." And I was like, "Yeah, buddy." And he goes, "Hey, you remember that paper that you were supposed to sign for the gym coach?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, hold on. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." Hey, Dad. You remember that paper that Coach Burgess sent to fill out? And I was like, oh, God. Like, it was hard to talk to him because I couldn't stop laughing because he just stops right in the middle. And to the republic for which it stands. I love elementary school kids. They are my favorite. But when it comes to gifts, like I said, kids are easy to figure out, but it's always like my spouse. It's always my wife that is the hardest person to figure out what gift is going to be the best gift to get her. Because you don't want to just get her anything. And then at the same time, like, there's stuff that you know that she might like, but you're like, you don't want to look like a turd for giving it to her. Like, you know, like, oh, she really likes the way that Bissell Crosswave. I don't know what it is about the Bissell Crosswave that people are going crazy about. But it's like, oh, she really wants that Bissell Crosswave. Maybe I should get that for her. But then you're like, then I buy it for her. And you're like, are you sitting there thinking to yourself, like, okay, does this mean that I think she should clean more around the house? Well, I can clean around the house. Maybe I should just get myself the Bissell Crosswave. You know, maybe I can just get her pots and pans. Oh, maybe I'm saying that she doesn't cook well enough. And anxiety steps in just like that. So, Johnny, what do you do to figure out like what kind of gifts that you get for Becca?
So with Becca, she's selfless. She would rather buy the kids stuff than buy her something. She never talks about really what she wants. It's always about what the kids want. You know, what this person needs, that person needs. But little pro tip, guys.
Pro tip.
Go in the Amazon cart and then check and see what she put in there. That something that she's wanted to buy that she's like, oh, I ain't got the money to buy that. Just buy it.
And then, like, see if your wife has got a list made on Amazon. And if she doesn't, you can talk to her about it and just say, hey, if you just find things that you randomly think I'd like to have, that you would like to have, put them in that Amazon list. But there is one thing that I found that is better than things that are sitting in the cart, because my wife, when she puts stuff in the cart and she decides that she can't get it because either she's, doesn't want to feel selfish.
Takes it out.
She takes it back out. And then, she does the same thing with list. Like, she'll never put stuff in the list because she's like, oh my God, that's too expensive. Like, I can't have him buy that for me. So, what do?
Totally sounds like Kayla.
Just like my wife.
Not.
Love you, sweetheart. Please. I like sleeping in our bed. But go through browsing history. And like, you can look in your Amazon browsing history and...
Oh, I was going to say, what?
No, not that browsing history.
I was like, well, that's a little odd. But yeah, Amazon browsing history, you can look at anything that has been recently viewed.
Yes.
So that's a good idea.
Yeah, and you may find, that maybe you and your wife are into more things together than you thought about.
Like, oh, honey, why didn't you say something?
Hello.
So,
you like Paula Deen too? I love her pots and pans. That's totally what we were talking about. Nothing else.
Anyways, he has a good thing that he wants to talk about guys. If you don't have money to buy presents, something that you can do.
So if you can't give that special someone, or just in general somebody, if you can't give them a present, give them your presents. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that instead of focusing on, finding the right gift, being able to afford the right gift, anything like that, maybe it's just your presence in their life, spending quality time with that person that is a real gift to them. I know that, at home, my wife has a honeydew list. And, I keep on telling her, I'm like, babe, I'm going to get around to it. You don't have to remind me every 6 months. I know what I'm doing. So maybe, like, you do one of those things. I've been reading the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman here lately. And he talks about how each person, man and woman alike, we each have our own individual love languages that we speak, like ways that if people do or interact with us in these ways, like it shows us like we feel more loved. And for some people, it's physical touch. Some people it is giving gifts. Some people it's words of affirmation. Some people it's quality time. And that's actually that's the chapter I'm in right now, so I don't know the 5th one yet. I'll get back to you. But if you guys haven't checked this book out, it's an amazing book. You can listen to it on audiobook, read the book, check it out from your library. listen to YouTube videos, it's probably out there for free at this point if you just look hard enough. But if you really want a good way to show that your wife that you love her, try reading that book and figuring out what your wife's love language is. Because maybe like giving her a gift is not the thing that makes her feel most loved. Some women out there just, they want to be told that they look pretty and that you love them and that, you appreciate what they do. And then some women just really want to spend time with their husbands. And some women just really, want their husbands to sit close to them and cuddle with them. And there's different ways to show your love for other people.
A great way to show that you love your wife and pay attention to her.
Acts of service.
Acts of service. But I started paying attention. My wife likes that Bailey Saran makeup lady that tells horror stories while she's putting on makeup. She likes true crime podcast. The little things that she may be into. I found a Crime Junkies. It's something that she listens to, like a name badge like that, to where it holds her work badge. Just $5. You can just find little things like that, like the Bailey Saran thing. There's shirts online. There is makeup bags. There's all kinds of stuff.
And even if you can't afford to get something, listen,
it's the little things, man. Just go for something that you really think that she would like, and if it's this little, but it's something that she's interested in, it will mean so much.
And if you can't buy them anything, make something for them.
Make something, yeah.
It takes 10 seconds to, write a love letter. Like write a paragraph to your significant other about the way that they make you feel. Get a piece of paper, make them a card. Pull out a pocket knife and go, pull a branch off a tree and whittle something. Any number of things that you can do. In the 90s, one of the biggest things that people were into was pet rocks. People literally went out and they got rocks and they put googly eyes on them. And that was pet rocks. If people can go crazy over pet rocks, then I'm sure that your wife would love a handmade card.
Yeah, or you could go to AT&T, come and see one of us and put AirPods on accessories, just pay the taxes. Just kidding. We work at AT&T, sorry, we're selling all the time. But one of the last things that I want to talk about, which I've barely done any of the talking.
Sorry, it's my fault.
And he's going to tie into this too. We ain't got much time. But whenever Mary was having Jesus, she was, riding into Bethlehem, and there was no room for her in the inn, which is like a hotel, motel, whatever. There was no room for her anywhere for Jesus. There was no room. So he went into a barn, and she had our Savior in a manger. And there was no one there that wanted anything to do with him because they was preoccupied with other stuff. So in this Christmas, make room for Jesus.
Exactly.
Don't shut him out and worry about everything else in the whole world. Because look, Christmas is about Jesus. Christmas. It is Christmas. It's Jesus' birthday. Now I understand that his birthday technically could have been like June,
in
March, or it's some other time. But this is the time that we celebrate his birthday. So don't forget whose birthday it is.
Exactly.
Don't get so wrapped up in this stress and anxiety of
that
doing
you forget
this
the reason for the season.
Yes, because the reason for the season is it's Jesus' birthday.
Exactly.
Don't forget whose birthday it is. And let's sing songs to him, and let's enjoy his presence, because he came on this earth to die.
2,000 years ago, we got the best gift that we were ever going to receive, which was God sending his son to the world, just so that he could go and die for us, 30 some odd years later. And I think we have to keep stuff like that in mind. I mean, like I said just a moment ago, like personally, I hate Christmas. Like I hate like the holiday that the card companies and the candy companies and companies like Amazon and Walmart have turned Christmas into. But at the same time, like for my kids, I love Christmas. Like when my kids talk to me about Christmas, they're excited about it. And for a lot of kids, they're just now figuring out what the real meaning behind Christmas is. Mm-hmm. And so for that, I implore that you don't lose your holiday spirit, which is the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. Keep that spirit with you at all times.
Now I want to say this real quick. If you're not saved and you don't really know the meaning of Christmas, or like you've heard about it, let me tell you something just real quick. Jesus came down on this earth to be born in a manger and went through a very rough life and was sinless. And he came on this earth for a reason, and that reason was to die to make a way for you to get to heaven. So the best gift that you could ever give is your soul over to Jesus, mm-hmm. because he is the reason for the season, and he give it all for you. So look, 2020 has been an awful year.
It's been a train wreck.
But this could be your turning point. You just don't worry about nothing else. Worry about what Jesus wants you to do, because we have all been through it. I know that you have been through it. Let's just give God a present. And why not? What a better present to give than yes, exactly. So we're pretty much out of time because we gotta start church.
Yep.
But we want to say Merry Christmas.
We love you guys.
And if we're not with another video before the end of the year, Happy New Year. But hopefully we do another one.
We should.
But Merry Christmas. I hope everything goes good. And we love you all. And B&B out.